All right, guys, how's it going? Today I'm gonna do kind of a trade recap video on my Boeing trade. So this has been a really interesting week, just to say the least, in the markets, right? It's been pretty wild. Um, we've had some pretty large sell-offs and a lot of volatile trading, but that makes for good opportunities. This whole week I've been trying to trade Boeing, right? I've been eyeing this out pretty much for the past week or so. If I look at this on a weekly time frame, we have some key levels in here, right? And basically, Boeing has sold off, um, and then we kind of had this push higher. And ever since then, we've been trying to break out above this kind of 216, 217 level kind of for the past 2 weeks or so. You can kind of see if we look at it on an hourly chart, right? So if you'll notice, right, the stock pretty much just trades higher, pulls back, trades higher, pulls back, trades higher, and then pulls back. And what are we doing now? We finally broke out, right? So um, whenever it gets to these levels, right, it's been having a tough time. But it's just been range bound, right? So typically in the rule of trading, the third touch of a level usually breaks, right? So um, I took this long this morning once we cleared some levels, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I've been jumping out of this whole week. I played this on Monday, pretty much in here, and then this is kind of in here is kind of when the market decided to pull back. So if I look at this, let's just see. Right, so we've had a pretty crazy week. From the highs, we had this massive sell-off, um, and we found some support here at a 50, and now we're starting to bounce higher, right, which is pretty sweet. But um, I just got out of my position on Boeing, um, mainly because what's going on here in the S&P, but I'll get to that in a second. So um, the entry on this was pretty simple, right? So yesterday, the market found a bottom, right? We have a 50% retracement from the highs, right? So from this low to this high, if we kind of take a 50%, and again, this is the S&P 500 futures. This is what drives moves in equities. This is what drives the market, right? So, um, you finally found some bid here off the lows. Yesterday, you had a pretty strong push higher, and now it's pulling back. Now, that's kind of the reason why I decided to get out of this trade, um, is because, the market is now stuck in a range, right? Which is good for skilled futures traders, but it's pretty bad for directional options trading. So that's kind of why I decided to get out. Now, for me, the entry on this was to clear the levels above 213 and 213.50. And so if we look at this right now, as soon as the market opened, right, we kind of pushed through these. I got an alert. I didn't even have to think twice, right? I put the trade on. I ended up getting long 5 contracts here at 440. So um, again, just kind of a combination between the market finding, a bottom in here, pushing higher, and then also just the fact that Boeing's been trying to break out for the past couple weeks. Right, it's just been stuck in this range. You saw this move lower, move higher, kind of trading sideways, and now we're finally breaking out. So that's kind of what I saw in a larger time frame when doing this. Um, so I got 5 contracts at 440. These options, you can kind of see they're up 243% today, which is pretty awesome. Now I sold my position a little too early. I'm not going to lie, I definitely left probably an extra $1,000 on the table. But profit is profit. $2,300 a day, I'll take it. I can't stress this enough. When you're trading directional options, you have to sell into strength. If you don't, right? If you get too greedy on this, this begins to fade, right? Like as the market starts to sell off and pull back a little bit, the premium on this starts to kind of decay. You can kind of see, right? Like move higher and then it just decays, right? It moves higher and then it kind of just decays, right? So you have to sell into strength. I can't stress that enough. When trading directional options, I definitely sold a little too early. My first target on this was, kind of this 224, then we had a 227. So I wouldn't be surprised if this continues to go higher tomorrow. But again, if the market is stuck in a range, which it is right now, right, this is just going to trade range bound for the next, couple weeks, I think. So that makes it really tough for equities to continue going higher. Kind of creates a lot of chop in the marketplace, which is kind of difficult. So, anyways, this is kind of a short video lesson. I hope you're all doing well. If you learned something, like the video, comment if you want. And yeah, I hope you guys are getting something out of this. So have a good one. Bye bye.